Hey everyone, my name's Shep. Oh, don't worry about those holes. They're for lecture videos. Just don't worry about it. They're fine. And by the way, don't expect that many edits today because it's very late and I'm tired. And it's when I'm like editing this video, it's gonna be very late. So sorry. So it's like couple of couple of days past. It's been like before I got before um couple of months later. So couple yeah, like weeks weeks before this. So let's say weeks after this, I am at school, working in horticultural science, and I talked to one of my friends, and then this random person comes up and pulls out his phone, and then says, "Hey, look at this." And I take a look, like I'm curious, like what is so interesting on his phone? And then I find out there was a fight like not too long ago. So like when did this happen? Now I'm like kind of curious. And he was like a couple of days ago. And actually before I record this on Friday, my friend, let's call him Fiery Door, recorded it recorded that video. So I will not show the fight in this on this video because I'm pretty sure that's some type of policy some people make, but I'm not gonna show it. Don't worry. But it was like 2023, and it was a girls versus girls type of fight. I didn't know what was actually happening. I didn't know, and my friends basically tell me these girls were fighting about something and something else, and they were just fighting about something. I don't know. It should be fine, right? Right. So here I am, just sitting down at my chair, just sitting back on my chair and thinking, hmm, why why were those girls actually fighting? I'm actually kind of curious. But since they probably got suspended, most likely. But that's pretty sketchy, if you say so yourself. Because to get suspended, you probably have to start a fight or something like that. But that's more likely that they probably got suspended and what actually happened. But I really think they did get suspended. I highly doubt they will get expelled just for a fight. Just one fight? Yeah, I highly doubt that. Here's another story that I will tell you about, but I will not go to too much detail. So a couple of days back, in my country, Virginia, before me and Figment, when me and Figment Pie made the video of him playing random games because it was his turn to pick the game that day. So and then and then today, basically today, sorry, I heard repeating myself. Today, someone decided to shoot the toilet. Like it. Look, I know I should not be saying this on YouTube, but it, whatever. But and it was a partial lockdown. Me and other kids were sitting in the gym class for almost like 3 hours. Like A lunch, B lunch, C lunch were passed. So it was D lunch that time, and me and my friend were talking, just chatting and having fun and just being childish. I like being childish. But we were talking to each other, like saying, why is it going on like this long? Because it should have been done like a long time ago. Because partial lockdowns do basically mean it's just partially not that long. But it took like almost like 3 hours. And well, since it's almost to D lunch, so it's technically an hour, but we're not talking about that. And I'm like missing like horticulture class because I like horticulture class. So here I am, just sitting on a bleacher. That's what we're gonna call it. And me and my friend, we're gonna call um country destroyer. And he said to me like, this this thing is kind of stupid. We should not be sitting here just waiting until what happens. And I actually agreed to him. I actually kind of agreed to him. So here I am. I was actually gonna actually text Figment Pie like what he was doing, but I knew that he was at school too, so I didn't want to interrupt him while he was probably doing a test or whatever. But so I left it alone, and my phone was literally gonna die because I. But luckily, I had my computer, my Chromebook computer, so I can work on my story. Not this story, but a different story, which I'll not go into detail about until I actually finish it, which is gonna probably take years. So if you want to hear about the story, I'll leave some like teasers about it in my Discord, link in the description. If you want to see the teasers. So here I am, just walking around, being bored, talking to my friend, and just bored out of my freaking mind. Because we were doing a partial lockdown at the time, and I was just being bored out of my mind. And it was finally done. The partial lockdown was done. I was like, what in the world happened? So it was horticulture science class, and it was D lunch at the time. And I thought I had to go to D lunch, but no, I had to go to my third block. So I was very confused because, and my family is very protective of their children. So I highly doubt I'll be going to school tomorrow, but maybe. I don't know. We'll see. So here I am, just sitting down at my chair, thinking about like what is happening. And here, and my substitute horticulture class teacher saying, "Where's your pencil?" I don't have a freaking pencil. Oh, sorry. I don't have a freaking pencil. And he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And then the person right in front of me gave me a pencil. And then my friend Brandon, which we're gonna call, gave me a pencil. About time, because I've been sitting there and asking him for a pencil, and he's saying, "Nah, it should be fine. It should be fine." I'll be like, "It should be fine." So here I am, just thinking about like, why did that happen? Like I was like questioning everything. Like it was super random and out of nowhere. Cause I knew, like I knew this school top to down. Well, not basically, but I knew it from every direction because I knew almost everybody. I knew some allies and knew some enemies. I just basically almost knew everyone in the school. So here I am talking to one of my friends, and of course, one of my friends, another friend of mine, decided to talk to me out of freaking nowhere. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. I mean, more the merrier. And of course, they roasted me. Ouch. So I'll say, yeah, it was kind of what I had coming. And yes, I did change my skin a little bit better. So here I am. But here I am, just looking at the sunset. But you can't see the other screen. So here I am, just looking at the desk and looking at this piece of paper, thinking, like, what is happening? And then I got to my earth sign, and it was around D lunch, and I decided to sit at my friend's table because I don't really have many friends in my in in lunch. So yeah, I'm pretty much a loner. Well, not that much, but you get the picture. And me and Brenda were actually getting in a good conversation. We're actually having a great conversation. And when I checked the time, I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's like 12:58. It's 12:58. idea. It was almost like 12:15, and I was like, oh my gosh, because D lunch was supposed to end at 12:17 ish, and I'll be like, all right, that's cool. So I went to my earth science teacher. My main earth science teacher was not there. So my the other earth science teacher was there, and she explained to us why did this partial lockdown. And the person that did it, we're gonna call him the toilet killer, and decided to shoot the toilet for no gosh dang reason. I know I'm not supposed to say this on YouTube. I'm pretty sure that's some type of guidelines. I'm not sure, but I have to go through some guidelines. Look, YouTube, if I do um get something, I'm sorry. So I'll be like, this is why did he do it? I mean, it's just a rumor, right? It's just a freaking rumor. But once my earth science teacher told me, I'll be like, oh, that's something that Bishop has to deal with for a while, because he'll probably be suspended or expelled. I mean, it's a very good chance of him getting expelled, like a very good chance. So here I am, just looking at my phone, checking Discord, seeing what's happening, and I saw one particular video. And when I was going to youth, I saw one particular video. It's Figment Pie's video. I was like, why not look at his videos? Because I haven't seen his video in a little bit. Because I was like thinking at the time, like I need something to calm me down. So I used Figment Pie's video. I'm sorry, Figment Pie, for using you in my videos. But I decided to use Figment Pie to calm me down, and he actually inspired me to make some type of story. So here I am. Anyways, so here's the third story, if you want. So here's the third story. Um, Let me think. Third story is me just doing work stuff. It's pretty lame. So I'm at work, just doing my normal routines, just putting like soap where it belongs, and putting toys. And some random customer came up to me and said, What is this?" And I'll be like, it's soap, ma'am." She'll be like, "What type of brand?" I'll be like, "It's Old Spice, ma'am." And she'll be like, "Oh, I'm sorry for bothering you." I'll be like, "No, duh, I'm trying to do my work. I'm not a guy that will hop around the shop. I'm just a guy that puts stuff away." I mean, I told Figment Pie about this. I mean, I'm actually doing something in my life than just sitting at a computer. Damn, I just roasted myself. Ouch. That's why my other half self is crying, because all the times that I burned myself. Anyways, and then the strangest thing came up to me. The It was a Karen. I never dealt with a Karen once in my life. And it happened. It just randomly happened. This Karen was like, "Can I get this for 15% off?" And I'll be like, that's expired, ma'am." And she'll be like, no, that's fine. It's still fine." I'll be like, "No, ma'am, it's expired, ma'am. It's not something that I can do. There's nothing I can use. I can't do anything about it, ma'am." And she'll be like, "No, you have to deal with this something. May I please ask your manager?" And that was my first time ever doing that. I didn't want to bother my manager because I knew he was at break, but I had to get this Karen off my back. So I asked for the manager's help, and of course, he picked my side. He did pick my side. He's saying, "Ma'am, this is expired, ma'am." And of course, she had a mental breakdown, and she'd be like, "No, this was supposed to expire next week, and ma'am, this is this week." And she'd be like, "Oh." And now look at me, and the manager will look at her like staring at her like a dumb butt. I'm sorry, I have to censor myself. And she'll just walk away and pay for her stuff and don't talk. And I haven't seen her since. So I could say I experienced a Karen a little bit. Was it worth it? No. Not at all. So here's a fourth story. I had the weirdest stuff happen to me. While I was getting off work, my mom picked me up because she was actually being in a good mood for once. I'm kidding, Mom. I'm kidding. And I was actually kind of cool because mm, I I usually get picked up by my dad most of the time, but it was my first time actually getting picked up by my mom because she's usually super busy. And she was actually in a very good mood, so she decided to actually go to my grandmother's house. And and I had the strangest little feeling that someone was following me. Like I was like feeling like I was getting stalked. Like I felt the coldest shivers down my spine. I was like cold. Cause I actually learned some things from China for a little bit. Cause I learned some things in China for a little bit. Cause if someone's stalking you, you can feel like you can feel yourself like being cold or something. But I thought that was just a myth and just something that people just made up and what um China people or China people or Japanese people thought that could have been real. Like when you sneeze, someone could be talking about you or something like that. I mean, I've sneezed before, but no one's actually talking about me. No one's interested in me. So here I am in my grandmother's house, just chilling out and just hanging out with my grandfather because my grandfather and I actually have good terms with each other. Is it true? Yes. By the way, don't worry about that village. They're doing fine. It's not on fire. It's fine. Anyways, and then I had the strangest feeling that I was feeling being watched. And I turned around, and of course no one's there. I'll be like, I'm just losing my mind. I'm just basically losing my mind. And I'm looking at Discord, seeing what was going on, and Figment Pie was just doing a poll thing, and I was like, I should vote, and I picked check mark because I honestly am down what he posts because he does like better content than I do. And then I felt the strangest things afterwards. Once I got home, finally got home after a long day of work, and talking to my grandfather most of the time, and me and my grandmother were actually dealing with the barn animals because she's a big barn animal. She actually loves animals. So shout out to you, Grandma, aka Mimi. Um, then I went back home and just chilled out on my computer and just relaxed and just chilled because I had nothing else to do. So I decided to make a video because I was like thinking like I am not doing anything today, so I decided to make a video. And then I look out my window for a split second, and then I saw some random face, and then it just ran off. I'll be like, who was that? And then the next day, I found the same person and then ran off. So I decided to use my phone the third day, but of course she ran away. So I decided to do it a fourth day. So I took a picture of her and I tried to analyze it and tried to use some technology stuff, but I was not good at technology. So I asked my couple of my friends to analyze the video, and it was a girl. And now it felt so awkward because I'm asexual. Not something that I'm not going to explain. And I felt very weirded out because I was stalked. Like some type of yandere or something following me home and back because I felt her presence at Walmart, then wherever I went, and then at home. I felt chills behind my back, so I decided to talk with Figment Pie. No, I never informed him about this yandere stuff or any about this stuff. I was never because I felt like he had enough things on his plate at the time because he was working on different stuff at the time. So it's something I don't want to do to him. And at the time, I was looking out my window just a brief second, and then I saw her. Me and her made eye contact, and then she ran off. I had no idea where she ran off to, but that's the fifth time. So I decided, like, maybe she won't come back. like the stupid idiot I am. And she came back. And I felt so weirded out. And then she ran off. So finally decided I'm going to call the police. My mom and dad will not appreciate me calling the police randomly. So I told them about my situation and saying, okay, that's something you should have informed us. But I thought it was just I told my parents like I thought it was just my imagination at the time. So me and my mom and my dad called the police immediately, and I showed the the uh, the, the cops the photo that my friend analyzed it, and he was like, hmm, interesting. And then he went out the door and tried to look for her across my property, and she never came back after that. I don't know where she ran off to, but I'm super glad she didn't came back. But I was informed that they found the stalker, and it was a yandere, and I'm terrified now. I honestly look out the window most of the time of my life. No joke. That's why I sleep on the floor most of the time. And that's why I keep my curtains closed most of the time. So I hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. This is something that I will not do daily on my videos, but I hope you guys enjoy. I know it was not edited perfectly, but I tried my best. And that's what counts. Hope you guys enjoy. I know these stories were boring or something like that, but these stories actually were real. So be safe, everyone. Be careful, and make sure you tell your parents what's happening and what's actually happening in your life, because your parents are very concerned about you. So be safe, everyone, and hopefully you guys enjoy. And I'll see you guys next time in the next video. Peace out, everyone, and I'll see you guys. Excuse me, sorry. Excuse me, sorry again. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you, Figme Pie, for inspiring me for doing this crap. See you guys next time. Bye bye. Woo! I never walk easy, that's a fact. Every week is fashion week for me.